Hello bookworms! Today I'm here with my March TBR. I have had really great reading months in January and February, and I am really hoping to hold up that steam, so I am going to actually show more than 5 books that I'm planning on reading this month because they're all books that I really want to get to like as soon as possible, and I've already read 24 books so far this year, so I'm in a good place. And if I read that much in January and February, I feel like I won't have any problem reading that much in this month and still having some extra flexibility to read books that I feel like reading at the time should I change my mind on anything. So anyway, these are the ones that I'm planning on getting to. The first one is The Darkest Minds by Alexandra Bracken. After reading Passenger, I really want to read everything that Alexandra Bracken has ever written. And Alexa from Alexa Loves Books told me how wonderful the Darkest Minds trilogy is, and so did Rachel of Hello Chelly, and I completely trust their opinions. So this is the first book that I'm reading for the month, and then it's also actually the book of the month for the TBR pile reading challenge that I'm taking part in, so I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone there, which is great. It's signed too. It says, "For Kristen, black is the color." The next book that I'm planning on reading is another recommendation from Alexa of Alexa Loves Books, and that is The Shadow Queen by CJ Redwine. This book was like kind of on my radar, but I didn't feel too strongly inclined to pick it up until Alexa raved and raved and raved about it, and she completely sold me when she said that it is basically like the Lunar Chronicles, but only fantasy and not sci-fi. So I'm really excited for that. The first book follows, it's like a Snow White-esque story, and there's a definitive ending, and then the rest of the books in the series are going to be companion novels, so they're going to follow other characters and they're going to tell the story. Well, I think there's going to be some like interwoven things, but they're going to be different fairy tale retellings. So I'm really looking forward to it, and just like I can't believe how much that Alexa raved about it. So I'm really like incredibly excited for this one. And there's also like pretty much the prettiest map ever. So as soon as I opened this, I was like, oh. And it's fuzzy and it has raised topography, which is like my favorite thing in a book. So this just has a lot going for it. The next book that I'm planning on reading is Dark Triumph by Robin LaFevers. This is the second book in the His Fair Assassins trilogy. I read the first book, Grave Mercy, in February and fell in love with it, and I need to read the rest of this story like as soon as possible. The next book that I want to read is Vengeance Road by Erin Bowman. I have never read a Western book before, and I think it will be really interesting to try to do so. I got this book from the Past Truth Tour when I went for Passenger and Truth Witch at Books of Wonder, and Erin Bowman was actually the moderator. So this book is signed as well. It says, "To Kristen, Chase the Horizon." But I'm really looking forward to reading this one. It is a revenge story. There's a girl that's trying to get revenge on somebody who killed her father. So that already sounds really good because I love revenge stories. My favorite book of all time, which I have mentioned a few times, is The Count of Monte Cristo, which is like the ultimate revenge story, and I feel like every other revenge story ever written like draws inspiration from there. So I just love revenge stories, and I know that I'm gonna love this. The next book that I want to read is Madly by Amy Alward, and this book follows a princess who tries to make a guy fall in love with her by getting this love potion, but she accidentally drinks it and then falls in love with herself, which sounds hilarious. And then the entire kingdom is on the search for the cure because she, is in love with herself, which is kind of a problem. And I believe it's televised like in the vein of a reality show, so it just sounds really interesting. I heard that it's very fantasy light, but it's still fantasy, so I am definitely eager to read this one. I feel like it's going to be a quick read. Then finally, I am going to be reading The Magician's Land by Lev Grossman. This is the third and final book in the Magician's trilogy. Now that the TV show has been out and I've been watching it and really enjoying it, I finally feel motivated to pick up the third book and read it. I did not love the first book in the series. The second book was a whole lot better, and I heard that the third one is even better than that, so I had always been planning on reading it. I just never got to it, but now there's all this like magician's hype, so I'm like, you know what, I feel like the time has come, so I'm gonna do that. Let me know if you guys have been watching The Magicians. I actually liked the first few episodes of The Magicians better than the first book, which never really happens, so that was interesting. But yeah, I'm curious to see if it's gonna stay that way, like if I'm gonna keep liking the show more than the books. Let me also know what you guys are planning on reading in March, and I will see you guys soon with a new video. Goodbye!